If you don't respect time, you will never be wealthy, you will never be successful, you will never be mighty. Only poor folks, inwardly and outwardly, care nothing about timing, because timing is... I've had the privilege of having relationships with people who were at the top of their game in just about every industry you can imagine. Those that leave the greatest impact understand timing. Timing is everything. You can be right about what you said, but wrong about when you said it, and do more damage than you did good. It's not about right and wrong, it's about timing. Right information delivered at the wrong time can tear a marriage up, can cause a child to feel defeated, can stop a loan from going through, can stop you from having the peace you ought to have. You're worried about being right. You need to be worried about timing. You've got to understand it's timing in baseball. It's not just skill. It is the timing that causes the batter to be effective at swinging the bat. You can have the right swing, but if you swing at the wrong time, you won't have the impact that you should have had. Some of you are trying to do the right swing, but you're swinging at the wrong time. You're in such a hurry that you're swinging before the ball can strike the target, because you are more moved by the crowd than you are by the ball. Harlan Sanders built an amazing business because he did the right thing at the right time. KFC came at a time in the American history that women had just started to go to work. It came at a time in history that families were still sitting around the table. It solved the problem. How can we simulate a family dinner without the woman being home to cook? Doing the right thing at the right time. It wasn't just about the chicken is good. It was that the need was great. It solved the problem, and it came at the right time. If he opened up now, he'd go bankrupt. You can sustain it at this level, but you can't start it at this level, because now if you open it up, they want to know, is it gluten-free? Do you have vegan chicken? I'm a pescatarian. They were not asking those questions at that time. Success is as much about timing as it is about anything else. Do you know what time it is in your life? Over the 65 years of my life, I don't think I knew it when I started. The best things in life takes time. When I was younger, I was impatient because I had the naivety of thinking that dreams would come quickly. But the best things in life take time. From simple things like food, preparation, to more complicated issues of parenting and marriage, the best things in life take time. People who don't have time to cook don't cook well, because the best things in life take time. You can get married, you can have a wedding in 30 minutes, but it takes years to have a marriage. You can hit the lottery, receive an inheritance. You can be catapulted from rags to riches, and you can be rich quick. Though many define wealth differently than how I will today, true wealth isn't just about money, but it is about the lessons you learn while struggling upward. If you have money without wisdom, you will soon be parted from your money. The best things in life take time, takes relationships. You've got the money, but because it was given to you quickly, you didn't build the infrastructure to sustain it. You don't have the relationships to sustain it. You don't have the information to sustain it. And most people who hit the lottery, 70 to 80% of them go broke within 5 years. You can't imagine that you could hit that much money and lose it, but the truth of the matter is, God is teaching us that the best things in life take time. There are things that you learn from struggling. There are things that you learn from tests and trials and trial and error. Some of my best teachers were failure. It takes time to do well. I can do some things now that I could never have done then because it is the time of harvest. If you move out of time, prodigal son, you will get what was yours too soon and lose it all. It's yours, but it's not time. You're right when you say it's yours, but timing is everything. The younger brother of the prodigal son teaches us emphatically that if we get what is ours too soon, we cannot handle it, because a blessing given too soon is not a blessing at all. I can give my son the car keys now, tell him to go to the store. But had I given it to him when he was 5, it would not have been a blessing at all. Same car, same son, given too soon. He can't handle it. The car can handle it. The road can handle it. I can give it to him, but he can't handle it. So would I be a good father if I gave him a good thing too soon?
A friend of mine is in commercial real estate. He specializes in hotels. He'll buy them, run them for a few years, then turn around and sell them. At one point, he owned over 200 hotels. Most of them were small in rural areas. His dream was to own a large hotel in a major city. A couple of years ago, he had a rare opportunity to purchase this prestigious hotel in New York City. It was in a premier location overlooking Central Park. He was so excited. He worked for months and months arranging the funding. He found a partner that would go in with him. Financially, this was a huge undertaking. He was going to have to stretch, leverage everything he had, including his house. For it to work, occupancy had to be strong. Business had to be good. This was the only way he could make this huge payment. After over 2 years of putting it together, this January, he was supposed to finally close on the property. But at the last minute, his business partner backed out. He couldn't believe it. He scrambled to find another loan, stretched even further. Now he was way over his head. The day he went to closing, his bank called and said they had changed their mind and wouldn't lend him the funds. He was so disappointed. This was his dream, a prestigious hotel, 2 years worth of work, all for naught. He couldn't understand why it didn't work out. What he couldn't see was 3 months later, this pandemic would hit and New York City would be the epicenter. All the hotels had to close, no income, no business, no customers. He would have this huge payment and no way to make it. He told me if that deal would have gone through, he would be bankrupt. He would have lost all his other hotels. His personal finances would be gone. Sometimes what we think is a bad break is really God protecting us. You may not understand what God is doing now, but one day you will understand. One day you'll say, I'm glad that door didn't open. I'm glad that prayer didn't get answered. I'm glad that relationship didn't get started. I'm asking you to trust when you don't understand. God can see the big picture for our lives. All we can see is a little down the road. God knows where the dead ends are. He knows where the shortcuts are. He's ordering your steps. I used to just thank Him for the open doors, but now I thank Him just as much for the closed doors. Because if it's not supposed to be mine, I don't want it. If God is closing a door, don't fight it. If you tried your best and it didn't work out, yes, be persistent, but at some point you have to accept it as God's plan and move on. That's a sign that God has something better, something more fulfilling, more rewarding. Doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. It may just mean that it's not the right time. But too often we get discouraged, bitter, it's not fair. But if you believe that God is ordering your steps, then you'll trust Him with the open doors and trust Him with the closed doors. You'll trust Him with the good breaks and trust Him with the bad breaks.